Do you feel relationship is a lot more work?
It doesn't have to be if you're in a relationship with the right people. There is a little bit of a work adjustment in everything, but if you're with the right person, that'll be minimal. And if it's a lot of work, then you're with the wrong person. आजकल कोई loyalty के बारे में सोचता नहीं है. मेरा फायदा क्या है इस relationship में? अगर फायदा नहीं है तो छोड़ दो यार. I don't like that.
Okay, what's your take on this? Living with your parents.
I cannot think of not living with my parents. They've taken care of you when you were not able to take care of yourself. So you need to be around for them as well.
Why is most of the actors around the world and celebrities, they're always late? Welcome back to another episode of Figuring Out. आज का एपिसोड है हमारा with the junior बच्चन. हमने उनसे बात करी है कि वो अपना पैसा कहाँ कहाँ लगाते हैं, उनको किन चीज़ों में शौक है जिनके ऊपर वो पैसे बहुत ज़्यादा खर्चा करते हैं, एंड we have tried to understand his take on how to make money in the movie industry plus his relationship with his father. उनका अपनी मॉम के साथ, अपनी वाइफ के साथ, अपने डैड के साथ रिलेशनशिप कैसा है, क्योंकि आप जब ऐसी एक फैमिली से आते हो जहाँ पे सब अचीवर्स हैं, तो वहाँ पे आपकी डिनर टेबल कॉन्वर्जेशंस क्या होती है, कैसे आप रिलेशनशिप को मेंटेन करते हो, पर्सनल लाइफ को प्रोफेशनल लाइफ को अलग रखते हो कि साथ में मिला के रखते हो, इन सब बातों में हमने बात करी है. टुडेज एपिसोड इज़ अबाउट मेंटेनिंग रिलेशनशिप्स, अंडरस्टैंडिंग हाउ टू मेक मनी एज अ सेलिब्रिटी, एंड learning about new things so that you can inspire the next generation of people as well. Please enjoy today's show. And before you enjoy the show, please go subscribe Raj Shamani Clips and Raj Shamani Shorts channel, क्योंकि वहाँ पे हम बहुत सारे ऐसे छोटे छोटे क्लिप्स में चीज़ें डालते हैं जो शायद इस बड़े एपिसोड में आपको देखने को ना मिले. तो आपको बिहाइंड द सीन अनफिल्टर्ड कॉन्वर्जेशन का मज़ा भी वहाँ पे एक छोटी सी क्लिप में मिल जाएगा. Enjoy the show. Welcome to Figuring Out.
Thank you.
You know, there are a lot of similarities between you and me, which I recently found out, like while I was coming here.
Okay.
First was this.
Yeah.
No way. I could have never imagined this.
Yeah.
But why do you wear it? It's watch and fitness. इसलिए क्या reason है?
नहीं आजकल आप Apple Watch पहने तो उसमें तो सब कुछ हो जाता है यार.
Okay.
Tell you when to wake up also.
तो फिर दो watches क्यों?
ऐसे ही.
दोनों हाथ में कुछ ना कुछ पहनना इसलिए?
I guess so. I mean, just I'd love to be able to say अपन का style है, but it's just, I don't know. I enjoy it. I love watches.
Okay.
I would have loved to be a watchmaker.
Really?
Yeah. I used to work with Omega Watches as their brand ambassador for almost 15 years. And they introduced me to the world of watchmaking, precision timekeeping. So I'm actually intrigued by a lot of the movements.
Oh.
And I find it very amazing. I mean, watchmakers, the intricacies which they work with. बहुत ही बढ़िया है. And so I just, I love my watches.
Which one of the watch you believe is one of your best investments? Hard to choose from your babies, but choose one.
I don't know if it's my best investment, but I have 3 very special watches.
Okay.
One was the watch I wore when I got married. One was the watch I was wearing when my daughter was born, which is the most special. And one was the watch I wore to the premiere of my first film.
Wow.
So for me, my watches have to be an emotion. It can't be, like I said, you can look at watches as a good investment today. I don't. For me, it's about a memory. And that makes it invaluable for me. कि यार जब शादी किया था तो मैं ये घड़ी पहन रहा था. So that the value for that is something a lot more for me. For me,
It's always an emotion.
Yeah, it's an emotion.
Okay, fun thing. I hope you remember this as well one day.
Absolutely, man. Both of them, yeah.
Okay, you've been surrounded by women in your life.
Yes.
And they have had a huge influence.
Yes,
over
absolutely.
you because you've been very close to your mother, your sister, your wife, now your daughter. And I've had a similar kind of thing. I've been, fortunately or unfortunately, I've been always very close to my mom, my sisters, always been like that. And I've had a luxury in life to understand the feminine side of my own energy as well, right? So I wanted to understand from you, because you've been always seen as this very, very high ethics code person who always respect women. Your image is like that.
I get that from my mom. There are certain values that I see my mother live by.
Like?
Honor, loyalty, which sadly, principles. which sadly I feel are values we may be losing slowly. आजकल कोई लॉयल्टी के बारे में सोचता नहीं है. मेरा फ़ायदा क्या है इस रिलेशनशिप में? अगर फ़ायदा नहीं है तो छोड़ दो यार. I don't like that. And that's because I've seen my mother like that. For my father, I get discipline, duty. His sense of duty is immense. And I feel somewhere we're trading these values in. So whatever I am today is because of my family and the people around it. I could go home one day and be very cheesed off with, work. Mein kuch ho gaya, this, that. And I said to the Aishwarya, and you vent as you would with your partner. But she just has this amazing calming effect. You se baat karo, then she just gives you a unique perspective. She's so zen about certain things, She's on a different spiritual plane to most other people. And she says something and I'm like, yeah, she's right. Why am I getting so bothered about this? There's so much more important things to be bothered about. So, the influence of women in my life has been immense. And they're generally more sorted out than we guys are. I mean, let's be very honest. They are the superior race. They're far better than us. They're better equipped. And the more you lean on them, the better.
Can you give me an example where you felt this? Where you said you used 3 words right now, and I want to go one by one on all of them. And I want to understand an example, right? One, you said that loyalty, and you learned that from your mother. Was there a point where you felt where maybe your mother told you that, hey, you got to be loyal, or you got to be this, or whether you've seen something?
My parents have never done that,
So how did you get this?
My father never really disciplined me. My father, till date, hasn't raised his hands ever on my sister and me. Never in our childhood. माँ से तो पढ़ती थी, but never. But they always led by example. And I think that's the best thing a parent can do. A parent doesn't need to be a good teacher. We have teachers in school. They need to be the correct example for their children. Can you lead your life through example? My father has always done that. My mother has always done that. I see my mother's loyalty to her near and dear ones. I see my father's sense of duty, honor, discipline on a daily basis. तो मैं ये मानता हूँ कि भैया बोलने से कुछ होता नहीं है, दिखाने से होता है. You have to practice it.
So you saw it.
Yes.
And that's how it happened.
Absolutely. I still see it.
Okay, and then you said the second thing, which was कि आप जब घर गए, maybe बहुत परेशान हो गए किसी work के कारण, you were angry, and this, which is a very normal phenomena. And your wife told you this, hey, why are you worried? Right? Is there any example that you can share that this happened with you? And
you can come back and you can be irritated about anything. Nowadays, if you're in Mumbai, you're irritated about the traffic. कि भैया जो हमें 15-20 मिनट लगते थे, आजकल 2-3 घंटे लगते हैं. And I've wished, and sometimes she's like, what are you getting so hyper about? Calm down. There are more important things. I mean, you've come home and you have a healthy, happy family. I remember once she said this to me, and it really hit me. I said, this was during COVID. My father, my wife, my daughter, and I were all in hospital at the same time. And she said, when we got discharged one by one, and I was the last one to come home. I was in hospital for almost a month. और मैं लौट के जब आया, she said, we're so lucky that we're all still here. There's so many families that have been ravaged by COVID, and we're very lucky. And what's more important than that? And I was like, you're right, because I was thinking, घर पे बैठे हैं, काम नहीं हो रहा है, कमाई कहाँ से होगा? Guys are, we need to be up and about. You sit at home and she said, you've got a healthy family. What more can you want? And I was like, wow, that's so true. तो उसके बाद whenever I'm asked, oh, how's the family? अरे ठीक है, काम कर रहे हैं. They're healthy. I think she just puts those priorities into place. And that was, I thought it was amazing for her to say. When I thought about it, मुझे लगा कि यार.
Do you feel that all guys are mostly like, they're always thinking about next objective?
Yes, of course. We're goal driven, no?
Yeah.
We're goal driven. We're not the type who can sit by a brook and enjoy the sound of water and birds chirping. अच्छा ये हो गया 5 मिनट, अभी क्या? अभी कहाँ जाना है? क्या करना है? And that's historically ऐसे है भैया. If you see, we're wired like that. कि when we were cavemen, get up and go get the food and come back. We couldn't just sit and chill and say, oh, बहुत खूबसूरत है. Somebody come and saber-toothed tiger would come and bite your head off.
Yeah.
You know, so I think men are goal driven. We need something to do every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
अच्छा कुछ नहीं है, घर पे ही बैठना है.
क्यों?
हाँ, लेकिन फिर क्या करेंगे? नहीं, कुछ नहीं करेंगे, घर पे बैठे रहो, चिल मारो. नहीं, वो तो नहीं हो सकता ना. You're always, so guys are like that.
True, that's true. You know, I was watching an interview and he says men usually don't go out and make plans. चलो एक काम करते हैं, let's catch up for tea and we'll talk.
Yeah, talk about what?
Exactly.
Agenda क्या है?
Agenda क्या है? They always want to know agenda.
The agenda can be, let's sit, meet at the pub, meet for a drink, and watch the football match.
Yeah.
Just meet and do what? Yeah. So true. Wow. What else did he say?
No, this is one of the major insights. There's a whole book about it.
चाय पे मिलते हैं.
हाँ, because like guys never talk about it.
चाय पे मिलके क्या करेंगे हम लोग? हाँ.
He was like कि men always think about कि अगला मैं क्या ले लूँ, क्या मुझे मिल जाए, अचीव क्या कर लूँ, and women's like कि अब मुझे मिल गया, इसको better कैसे करूँ?
Wow. Yeah, that's so true.
Have you noticed that?
Yes.
So
Let's hope they think like that about their husbands also ना. अभी ये मिल गया, इसको मैं improve कैसे करूँ? अच्छा, इसलिए इतनी पड़ती है जब घर जाते हैं हम लोग. I'm trying to improve you. I get. Oh, now I get it.
Do you work? Do you feel like? Okay, talk about relationship a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel relationship is a lot more work than you ever thought of?
It doesn't have to be if you're in a relationship with the right people.
Okay, explain. I always think that relationship, it means work. If you're not
of
ready
course.
to work,
I mean,
it will
everything
not
means work. But then saas lena is also work. Now you have to. I mean, thankfully, your oblongata, whatever is there to make sure that. But otherwise, you have to be conscious of these things. You know, walk, all that.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of a work adjustment in everything. But if you're with the right person, that'll be minimal. And if it's a lot of work, then you're with the wrong person. Somewhere, I think, either with time or just the way you getting along is also about they understand each other. You know, I think parents are the wrong example because, you come from them, so obviously. But any relationships apart from your blood relationships that you get into, yeah, like with my wife, I know sometimes she just gets it, you know. I think a lot of that has to do because she's also an actor herself. So she understands the pressure of the business and the lifestyle. But a lot of other stuff you also get. But yes, there are times when you have to make an effort and work at it. But hopefully that should be kept at a minimum.
What do you find the most difficult thing about your relationship or about you as a person in a relationship?
Me?
Yeah.
Apparently I'm very moody.
Is it?
That's what I'm told all the time. My mood swings up and down. So, sometimes I'm really happy and then sometimes I'm just like this. I don't know.
So
I think I'm a pretty cool guy. I'm okay. Fun to be around.
Yeah, from the far, you look like you're always cool and calm and composed.
Yeah, you should ask my manager over there. She's the one who spends maximum time with me and gets all the firing for no reason. And she looks at me like, but what did I do? So maybe, I don't know. Maybe, I think actors are all very erratic. Shayad.
Because you're always experimenting with your moods?
I don't know. Maybe just because of what we do, we're just slightly off. Thoda sa, halka sa.
Actors are very notoriously known for one thing. Okay, tell me answers. I want to know this. Why is most of the actors around the world and celebrities, they're always late? Why do you feel so?
No, I don't think so.
Now, I've noticed this so many times.
You just met the wrong people, I guess.
They're on time usually?
Well, my family is. The people I've worked with usually are. And I feel this younger generation today of actors are very conscientious of time. My father told me when I was a kid, if you don't respect time, time's not going to respect you. तो आप भले 5 मिनट पहले आ जाइए लेकिन पहुंच जाना. And if you're getting delayed for something which is out of your control, you must call and say, देखिए ये मैं ट्रैफिक में फंसा हूँ ये. You must inform. You can't just take it for granted. Don't take other people's time for granted.
Okay, what's your take on this, living with your parents? Because now it's becoming more of a trend. Do you still live with your parents?
Yes.
Now it's becoming more of a trend that you want to move out, live alone.
I get it.
And especially the moody people, you're saying that you're moody.
I get it. See, society, culture, values, everything changes and adapts. I get it. In today's fast-paced life, if you're living in a city like Mumbai, you have very little time for family. I get it. I might not do it. I cannot think of not living with my parents, especially at the age at which they are now. My father's going to be 81, my mother's 75. So you want to be around them, you want to take care of them if you can. Both my parents, thankfully, are very active and independent. But still, when they've taken care of you when you were not able to take care of yourself. So you need to be around for them as well. हम लोग ज़्यादा ये सोचते नहीं. I mean, look at all the sacrifices each and every one of our parents have made for us. And quietly, they've never, वो जताते नहीं हैं. All they want is to just know कि हाँ, the kids are okay. And I think part of Indian culture is a joint family system. And like today, I know, although सब लोग काम में व्यस्त रहते हैं, and there could be times when we don't see each other for days living under the same roof, क्योंकि we're all different timings. But the fact that you just know कि घर पे कोई है, परिवार का कोई है, I like that. I like the fact that you have that one meal where everybody sits and talks, and or an evening where the rare evening कि सब लोग एक साथ मिल बैठ के, बातचीत करें, watch something together, whatever. It's so nice that I'm so lucky that even at the age of 47, I get to enjoy both my parents.
Yeah.
There's so many people, so many friends of mine who don't have both sets of parents. And I think very lucky, and I'd want to take care of them and enjoy their company and appreciate and learn from them till date, as long as I can.
I want to ask something very personal. It's about relationship between a father and a son.
Ji.
Right? Usually, कैसे होता है कि when you're growing up, there's a little man ego in you.
Sure.
Where you want to I want to become better than my father. I want to become bigger than my father. I don't want to be overshadowed. I'll have my own story. And mostly, usually in today's world, where kids have everything, when they have everything, they want to get out of their family and start everything from scratch because they have this little ego like, मैं मेरी story खुद बनाऊंगा. You never thought of it?
I mean, I understand why they would do that. I think that comes from the fact for a son that the gold standard for any son is his father. They're your heroes.
Yeah, 100%.
So I get that slight this is the best, now I have to be better. So I understand that healthy competition. And every human being is like that. That's fine. It shouldn't become unhealthy. For me, I've never looked upon it as an ego tussle ki इनके छत्र छाया के बाहर में जाके कुछ करूं. For me, it's about how can I best try and further his legacy. That's the perspective I look at it. My surname is sacred to me. I am whatever I am today because of my surname, which was given to me by my grandfather. And then my father did a fantastic job of furthering that name and the dignity associated with it. I've always said it's my duty as his son to further that legacy and not compromise those things, because they've worked very hard to achieve that. So I've never looked at life in that way कि नहीं मैं भी कुछ करके दिखाऊंगा. मेरी फिल्म अभी रिलीज होने जा रही है घूमर. I hope, I pray, it very seldom happens, but I hope that after my father watches it, he's proud. I hope my mother's proud. They feel, okay, our son is doing good work. He's making a name for himself and helping the family name. These things matter a lot to me. I see my wife teach that to my daughter. I mean, we don't want to put pressure on her that, oh, there's all this pressure, but you must be respectful of what your father, your dadaji and your pardadaji have also done and achieved. And you must respect that. And you must work, never do anything to deplete that. So that's the way I look at it. I've never had that kind of ego tussle with my dad ki nahi main bhi karke dikhaunga. For me, it's about how can I help try and grow what you've done such a wonderful job of doing.
Do you think that that also comes because maybe you and your father, you guys are very vocal about complimenting each other or appreciating each other's work?
We're not actually.
You're not?
नहीं, वो आजकल वो ट्विटर पे ज़्यादा भावुक हो जाते हैं. But I think he's just being, a proud father.
Yeah.
But in face to face, we're normal.
He doesn't come and tell you, hey, I love you. Does that happen? Or is it's very difficult to have a conversation?
No. That way we're emotionally very good with each other. I mean, we're a hugging kind of a family, and yeah, that he does. He's not going to go crazy about it. But, Yeah, he makes you feel very special.
Do you feel difficult in showing the love to your parents or
Not at all.
Not at all?
No. I'm a very loving kind of, very tactile, and I'm like that. Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, okay, my story with my father. My father is a business person and I built another business together. So
Sure.
it's just what happened. I was always just trying to get his validation.
Of course.
Like always.
I told you why. Because there are heroes.
Yeah.
We might not admit it, but there are heroes, and you want your hero to say, "Job well done."
Exactly. And that never happened until recently. So I was always like,
Wow, that must have been amazing, huh?
I know, right?
I will never forget the first time my father appreciated my work. It's one of my most special and treasured memories of all time. And I mean, I didn't think of it that way, but for any son, subconsciously, it's like I said, it's the greatest gift that you can ever get is when your parent or your father appreciates what you've done.
Oh, 100%.
On another level, I also feel fathers are the world's worst teachers.
Why?
You थोड़ी देर के बाद they just pull rank on you, na? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Men are not very good at explaining, and थोड़ी देर बाद नहीं समझ रहे यार, you know, I'm telling you to do it, just do it. And you're like, नहीं, but क्यों? Don't ask questions. I feel fathers are not good teachers. They're better examples. That's why I said, you know, it's important that you lead by example. A parent I don't think they'll be very good teachers.
Damn.
Because we're so close to that emotion, right? You're so protective and possessive. Like say your father is actually so emotional, protective and possessive about you. You're his child. You're his next generation, you know? After a while, you're not able to, you know, you get frustrated because I don't think fathers can be very good teachers. So the best teacher you can be as a parent is to just lead by example.
I never thought of it,
Think
but that's
of it.
so true.
Yeah, it's very true.
It is, because this is what exactly would happen. If my father has to say something, he'll say it one or two times like, bas bol diya na, I know it for you.
Correct. If you ask a question, why are you asking me? I've told you something, just do it. Because it's not coming from a bad place. I think we just aren't able to, after a while, अरे हर चीज justify करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है यार, तुम बस कर लो ना, मैं बोल रहा हूँ. I'm never going to think ill for you. So why are you questioning me? And I think each newer generation, the one thing they all do is question.
Yeah.
Because that whole sense of hierarchy is hardly there. आप आजकल की जो नई पीढ़ी है, अगर आप उनसे बात करें, and we say ये करो, क्यों? अरे बोला ना क्यों? No, but क्यों? They're not being disrespectful. They genuinely want to know
ask questions.
What do you mean hierarchy? We're all just
same.
Talk to me like an equal.
Does that happen? Does your daughter question you about things?
Yeah, all the time.
She's too young for questions.
No, she's 11 now, but they're 11 going on 25. All of them. This generation is amazing. No, you can't pull rank on her.
Yeah.
And on a certain level, that's nice. You can't say, I'm your dad, just do it. Her response is, I'm your daughter, you do it. How do you argue that? You know what I'm saying? It's so true.
That's a fair argument. I'll start playing that card on my dad now.
Yeah. मैं आपका बेटा हूँ.
Okay. So I want to keep it very free flowing about your business acumen.
Sure.
About the business stuff.
I have no business acumen.
Really?
Yeah. I studied economics in high school and I was horrible at it. I don't think I have any business acumen.
What are you saying?
All my business decisions have been completely counterintuitive to whatever I was taught business should be like.
Give me an example. What was so counterintuitive?
Well, one of the first ventures I did on my own was to buy a Kabaddi team. और जब हम खरीदने जा रहे थे, तो everybody was like, ये क्या है भाई, अभी next क्या, अभी गिल्ली डंडा का टीम खरीदोगे तुम लोग? कुछ पता नहीं था. टीम को कैसे बनाया जाता है, कैसे खिलाया जाता है, कहाँ रहेंगे, कैसे करेंगे, what cost, what is the running cost, nothing. It was literally like a shot in the dark. लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं मुझे लगा कि नहीं यार, ये कबड्डी is fun. When I saw modern day kabaddi compared to जब हम लोग छोटे थे तो हम लोग खेलते थे ना कबड्डी, and I saw modern day kabaddi, it was colorful and vibrant and fast, and I was like, yeah, this is fantastic, and I believe that people will want to watch this. It's just, you know, an instinct you have कि हाँ, मुझे लगता है कि ये चल सकता है.
So there's no data, just gut feeling.
Well, the only data I had is when we were kind of doing a sort of a due diligence of sorts. I told my dear friend Banti Walia, who runs the team with me, I said, यार एक live कबड्डी मैच जाके देखते हैं. तो मैं जुहू में रहता हूँ, तो very close to जुहू there was one tournament going on. और मुझे लगा कि पता नहीं कुछ बच्चे होंगे खेल रहे होंगे कहीं आंगन में या गार्डन में. And I went and there was this, they'd made stands and there were some 10,000 people cheering. I said, यार ये क्या है यार? And this energy was unbelievable. So somewhere I felt कि नहीं passion तो है, ये जरूर करना चाहिए. And you know, you're something that started off on a shoestring budget today is valued in hundreds of crores. It's fantastic.
What's the multiple you made on it?
See, that's another thing. I never count my multiples until I actually offload anything. कोई फायदा नहीं है कि मेरी valuation अभी क्या है.
पर लोग फील तो करते होंगे, मजा सुन के लगता होगा ओके अच्छा, this is how far we have come. There has to be
It's
some.
more than 100x right now.
Sweet. And how many years it took you?
10 years. Not bad.
Not
huh?
bad, not bad.
That's insane. That's how crazy
That's
the
kind of
sport
a VC
is.
return you got.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's crazy. But like I said, you only realize that once you sell. I'm not a big believer in
Paper wealth.
digital money. Yeah, there has to be.
In your pocket.
Rokda kya hai, boy? You know, we're Indians. How much is in the bank? Tell me that.
Okay, you know, one thing which I really want to understand is about the movies. Okay, which your recent movie, and you've been close to sport, right? And now you're becoming this person, like a motivator, I would rather say.
Oh, really?
Like in a movie, is it? Are you not?
He's a coach. Yeah.
Is a coach, right?
Yeah.
Coach is technically someone who's
Yes.
helping you realize your own potential and making you better.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I guess they're the ultimate mentors and motivators. Yeah.
So, are you inspired, or like when you were doing this film or when you started on day one, did you have anyone in your head?
No. He's a very unique personality. Paddy, which is the character I play, Padam Singh Sodhi, he's a very unique person. And his approach to coaching is a bit unorthodox.
Okay.
And very against what you'd expect it to be. And once you see the film, you'll realize that. But he's a very candid, brash, harsh, rude almost, insensitive person, which you can see jhalaks of that in the trailer. But actually, when you see the film, you'll understand that there's a greater reason for that.
Is that what was the most hard fact for you to take in? कि ये personality में ऐसा भी हो सकता है क्या coach?
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं था कुछ. I mean, I enjoyed it. He's a great character to play. He's a lot of fun. He's very unpredictable. तो उसमें मजा आता था कि भैया ये अभी क्या करेगा, ये अभी कैसे react करेगा.
So just fascinated. There was nothing specific. You were like, oh, this happened.
No, I mean, it's very difficult for me to quantify and explain it to you until you don't see the film.
And what was your
We'll
favorite
talk
part?
after you watch the film and then we can discuss this in detail.
Which one is your favorite part in the movie?
There are quite a few.
Tell me one.
I wouldn't want to talk about a particular moment. I'll talk about a certain trait that Balki, my director, has.
Okay.
वो बहुत कुछ कह जाते हैं गहराई के साथ, but very lightly. So there are a lot of themes and messaging that he's said in the film, but it's not made a big deal out of. It's very subtly said. And you might just come out of them and say, oh gosh, actually, yeah, that's right. I mean, to give you an example, Sayami's character has got one arm. And he pays scant respect to the fact that she's got one arm and what all difficulties she must be going through just to be able to say bowl. हालांकि वो जाके उनको बोलते हैं कि I'll make you, a left arm spinner. But he doesn't care about कि एक हाथ नहीं है तो. And पहले लगता है कि यार chill out यार. What you realize through the film is he's treating her just like a normal athlete. And his attitude is, the greatest service I can do to somebody who's maybe handicapped is to treat them normally.
Yeah.
Because they want to be normal.
Yeah.
So he doesn't care if you're a boy, you're a girl, you have one hand, you have two hands, do the work. Because there's somebody else doing the work out there and they'll do better than you and you have to do better. So he believes in her in that level. He sees the potential in her. And he says, I'm not going to allow anything to become either an emotional crutch or a physical crutch for you. No. अगर कोई भी लेफ्ट आर्म स्पिनर महिला जो हो, अगर वो दिन में 10,000 बॉल करती हैं, तुम्हारा भला एक ही हाथ हो, तुम भी 10,000 करो क्योंकि वो कर रही हैं. So it doesn't differentiate. And I found that such a refreshing approach. Yeah. So whereas initially you think, God, this guy is really rude and insensitive. Actually, he's not. He's very sensitive to what she has. He sees the potential and he's pushing her.
And actually instilling with more confidence that start treating yourself
Bilkul.
like just like everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you do that in reality, in real life? Do you
No, I'm a big softie that way.
You're soft. You can't be harsh, just like hold everybody to excel.
No, I can push, but I do it more out of motivation. I can't be strict and wo mujhse hota nahi.
Do you do that for yourself? Are you harsh on yourself?
I'm very harsh on myself. But I think everybody is. With our first and best judges. जैसे कि आप अगर अपना पॉडकास्ट कर रहे हो, जब आप अपना पॉडकास्ट सुने और अभी देखें भी, you'll be the first one to know whether you've done a good job or not.
Oh yes.
You might not say it,
but I'll
people
make
might
notes.
appreciate, but you'll know. And you'll know that next time I can't do this. Every human being is like that. We shy away from saying it publicly.
But do you look your movies after they've been released?
I watch my movies almost every week.
Try to...
And I see and I make notes. You can change this, you can do this better. If you had this approach, you could have played the scene like this. I do that. I review my work a lot. A lot. I think it's important. It's the best way to learn and to improve.
What's your approach as it like do quantity over quality, let's say? So what do you believe in? Like come up with one project, but take a year to do that? Or come with like 10 projects?
I don't set a time frame. I'm enjoying doing, when I first started acting, we used to do multiple films at the same time. I enjoy starting a film and finishing it because it allows me to deep dive into that character and really inhabit that mind space. And then once it's done, you're like, okay, push that aside, snap out of it, move on to the next one. That can take 2 months. So far this year, I've already finished 3 films. Last year, I just made 1 film. So each story, each film has its own lifespan. I finish films in 35 days. I finish films in 200 days. So I don't like to put a time frame. Whatever it requires, you should give.
So it's quality. Like until you're satisfied, you were not going to move to the next thing.
Love to be able to be that indulgent, but being a commercial medium and being somebody else's money, you can't just say, हाँ shooting करते रहेंगे भैया. There has to be a budget. You have to have those kind of things. Within that framework, can you do your best? That's also the challenge.
Yeah.
बड़ा आसान होता है ना अगर आपको बोलते कि हाँ भैया 10 घंटे हैं बात करते जाइए आप. 10 घंटे में तो कोई भी बात करके सब कुछ पता कर सकता है.
30 मिनट से कुछ भी निकाल लेगा.
हाँ. So there are a lot of permutations and combinations.
And you hold yourself accountable for that, like for everything. You have to. If I'm the face of a product, I have to be accountable for it. I have to have that responsibility on my shoulders. I have to be conscious of that. Do you see your art as business?
It is a commercial art. Because the minute somebody purchases that ticket, I have to give them the value of that ticket in entertainment. So although I'd love to be artistic and talk about, my art. No. Somebody's bought my ticket. I've asked them to buy a ticket. Then I owe them value for that.
And you think about it every time you sign a project.
You have to.
But not from the business angle
there have been so many stories. I hear them and I'm like, this is a beautiful story. This is a wonderful message. I love the vision of the director. Lekin picture koi dekhna nahi jayega. So you can't do it. You can't waste other people's money like that.
So ROI is going on in your head.
I guess so on a certain level. Yes, on a certain level. You have to find that fine balance between art and commerce. But that balance is achievable somewhere.
We'll have to do another conversation on this because I want to pick your brains on this specific thing.
So I'll make a deal. You watch my film.
Yeah.
And if you like it, then we'll sit down and
perfect.
talk. If you don't like it, then no.
Okay. Oh my God, that's a lot of pressure now. I don't know, but I'm very, very sure that it'll turn out to be
thank you.
really good.
Thank you.
And we'll sit down again.
For sure,
and
I look forward to it.
Realism
I'm enjoying
and optimism.
Picking your brain.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
No, I really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you.
I wish that we would have gotten more time to get deeper in the business inside because that's what I want to talk about.
Once you see my film.
Yeah.
Then.
But
there's always an interaction and there's a transaction in everything.
100%. But for now, I wish you all the best
Thank
for the
you, man.
movie.
Thank you.
I look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
And
thank you for doing this. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this episode till the end. Please let us know in the comments if you like this guest and you want us to do more of these kind of guests or no, so that we can serve you better and come up with better content which helps you achieve your Indian dream. Before you leave the episode, like, subscribe, comment and share it at least with one person जिसको इस कॉन्वर्जेशन से आइडियाज़ मिले और वो आइडियाज़ पे इम्प्लीमेंट करे, बिकॉज वन आइडिया इज़ इनफ टू टर्न अराउंड योर लाइफ, योर पीपल्स लाइफ, योर फैमिलीज लाइफ एंड योर कंट्रीज progression as well. Until the next episode, keep figuring out.